And you are now behind enemy lines. Kind of shocking there with the 1 second intro, but we're trying something new. Hey there. How you guys doing? I'm Gene. He's Ross. We are behind enemy lines, and I am sick as a dog, in case you can't tell.
I was going to say, Gene, you sound like shit.
I swallowed one of those frogs as a counter protest, apparently.
Oh, God.
Give me a cold.
By the way, you caught me totally off guard with that little intro.
Oh,
I only have a minute to get my stuff together.
Well, not this time. Pop quiz, hotshot. We're talking about the State of the Union today. Hopefully, Rick will be around in a few minutes as well. I sent him the link, so he'll be here soon. And for those of you out there that maybe haven't found us before, we're glad that you're here. This is a show that is fueled by audience participation, even you trolls out there. So as we're talking about the State of the Union, feel free to drop comments wherever you're watching, whether it be on YouTube, on Rumble, on X. Hopefully, we'll see them in our chat, and we will be able to get to them. But before we begin, and just, BS in here for a little bit, overall, Mr. Galloway, what was your reaction to the State of the Union?
I honestly, and this is not me just being a Trump fanboy, because I won't even say you can do the comparison with other presidents, states of the union. I'll say this was definitely Trump's best. And overall, I thought it was a fantastic speech. I'm not just saying it because Trump gave it. It was he stood on prompter for most of it. I'll say that.
He had his moments of ad-lib, though. Oh, my God. I feel like I'm going through puberty again with this voice. But, yeah, he had his moments where he did go off script, and you saw it. He likes to expound and add some puffery to what he says. But there's a lot of brilliance in this speech, as I'm getting notifications here, that we're going to be going through. But we're also going to look through some of the stupid counter programming that Democrats tried to do. I guess they thought they were Turning Point USA, and they brought out the big guns like Robert De Niro and stuff.
Bro,
who the hell knows?
I hope you have this clip, because I almost missed it. I was getting something to drink at the beginning of the speech, and Al Green got the boot like within the first minute or something like that.
Oh, yeah, we'll be talking about that as well. But before we do that, we got to welcome in Rick.
So I want to thank you all for being here. And now, who am I introducing next? Who's next?
All right, I can tell you're talking to me because I can see your lips moving, and I'm used to your intro by now, but I can't hear you guys at all. So
it keeps doing that. Goddamn StreamYard keeps doing that. I hate it. It mutes me and then it doesn't unmute me. So as I was saying, how you doing, pal? Now you're muted.
Let me try going out and coming back in since I don't know what's going on. Hang on.
I hear you loud and clear, Gene.
Oh, Rick. Now I got to do the intro again. God damn it.
Yes. All right. It's mandatory. It's part of the contract. That intro every time, even if he drops the call and comes back, we have to do the intro. Sorry,
you guys do it again and again and again. Well, we'll start with the trolls early here. Hey there, Alex. Thanks for joining us in the chat. We're glad that you're here. You say they only kicked Al Green out because he is black. Absolutely not. But before we get to my full answer on that.
So I want to thank you all for being here. And now, who am I introducing next? Who's next?
Distinguished. Hey, I can hear you.
Here.
I can hear you now. Yay.
Yeah, I could have heard you before. I was muted because that's what StreamYard does, apparently. Anyway, want to get your reaction to this? Go ahead.
You were both muted. It was on my end. I forgot when I was leaving last time. I had to mute the site because you guys were still talking, and I kind of forgot.
Okay, I did so I'm glad we all established it's your fault. That's awesome. State of the Union, pal. What did you think of it? Just overall 30,000 foot view.
I mean, honestly, I had a lot of fun with it. This is probably the first State of the Union in a while I've actually enjoyed. I kind of like the fact that, I mean, I know you guys will probably get into it, but I love the fact that he just kept setting trap after trap after trap, and the dummies kept running right into them. But I mean, it was to me, it was a lot of fun. I know the left didn't think so, but I loved it.
Was it? I'm going to steal a comment from JR in the chat. Hey, Galloway, was it more fun than Kamala's rally with Beyonce?
I also, like Rick, had a blast with it. Anyone who didn't really is really just anti-American in my view. And again, this is not me being a Trump fanboy, right? It was a very patriotic speech. Lots of good things happened there. And to me, the theme throughout, and I hope everyone that's listening tonight actually watched it. The theme throughout was that the Democrats are basically terrorists. Okay, they're the party of violence. Most of the people that stood up were either Democrats or were out on the streets because of weak Democratic policies in blue states or cities, right? And that to me was the overall takeaway. Going into the midterms, I couldn't have asked for a better State of the Union from the president. He really came through.
What he did, which was so brilliant, and we'll show some of the clips, but I want to focus on more of the counter and the reaction to it as well. The brilliance of it is that Trump has this way of painting people into a corner. It is absolutely brilliant. He, as Rick was saying, he sets the trap, he shows you where the trap is, and then he basically dares you to step into the trap, and then they do. It's the craziest thing I've ever seen. Supposedly, well, let's be generous, medium smart people falling for it every single time.
You know what it reminded me of? You remember watching Looney Tunes when we were kids? That's what last night reminded me of. It doesn't matter. Roadrunner, Coyote, Bugs, and Elmer, all of it, dude. It was just like, I mean, because you saw it with, especially Bugs Bunny. He would have giant flashing signs that say, "Don't do this," and then they do it anyway. So
yeah,
kind of what it reminded me of. I kept waiting for the Acme box to drop, and it never did. I was kind of
or falling down into the canyon from the top view down, something like that. Every single time. Let's give an example of what we're talking about here. This is probably the clip that this State of the Union will be remembered for years to come.
Forget that many in this room not only allowed the border invasion to happen before I got involved, but indeed they would do it all over again if they ever had the chance. If they ever got elected, they would open up those borders to some of the worst criminals anywhere in the world. The only thing standing between Americans and a wide open border right now is President Donald J. Trump and our great Republican patriots in Congress. Thank you. Thank you. As we speak, Democrats in this chamber have cut off all funding for the Department of Homeland Security. It's all cut off. It's all cut off. They have instituted another Democrat shutdown, the first one costing us 2 points on GDP. 2 points we lost on GDP, which probably made them quite happy, actually. Now they have closed the agency responsible for protecting Americans from terrorists and murderers. Tonight I'm demanding the full and immediate restoration of all funding for the border security, homeland security of the United States, and also for helping people clean up their snow. We have no money because of the Democrats, and it would be nice, we'd love to give you a hand at cleaning it up, but you gave no money. Nobody's getting paid. It's a shame. So you have to think about it. We have, in case you didn't know, a pretty large snowstorm out there. One of the great things about the State of the Union.
Here it comes. So now that you have the context of it, here comes the best moment of a State of the Union, in my opinion, in probably the past 10 years.
Is how it gives Americans the chance to see clearly what their representatives really believe. So tonight I'm inviting every legislature to join with my administration in reaffirming a fundamental principle. If you agree with this statement, then stand up and show your support. The first duty of the American government is to protect American citizens, not illegal aliens.
Now, how can you be against that, Ross?
And this was the brilliance of the speech, right? Throughout the State of the Union, Trump, this was the most picturesque moment, but throughout the speech, every issue he articulated were issues that the majority of Americans agree on. Not the majority of Republicans, the majority of Americans, right? And some were no-brainers, like applauding widows and fallen soldiers. But something like this, should the government look out for American citizens before illegal immigrants? That there's no poll you will find where that view is underwater on, right? Everyone with a brain, except maybe a couple of morons in the chat tonight, would agree with Donald Trump on this. And the Democrats fell right into the trap, like Rick said, and refused to stand. For what reason? Like, who advises them before they go in there? Is it really groupthink, or are they looking left and right to see if anybody breaks ranks? Like, I don't understand how no one in there had the intestinal fortitude to stand up at that statement.
I think maybe Fetterman stood up. Go ahead, Rick.
Yeah, Fetterman stood up for a lot of it. Actually, Fetterman's in a lot of trouble because his party's pissed off at him because he wore a suit and a tie for Trump. It's like, he's in love with him now. We have to get rid of him. He's wearing a suit and tie at the State of the Union. But yeah, I don't know if you guys saw this today. I don't know if you guys saw this today, but Schumer gave the answer as to why they didn't stand up, and it's because we refuse to be Donald Trump's props. No, you didn't stand up because you're retarded. And I'm telling you right now, just the spot that you have on the screen, if that is not a still shot in every article regarding the 2016 election put out by any GOP person, if it's not part of their campaign ads from now until the end of 2026, whenever the elections are over, then they have lost the plot. Because the thing about it is, this is the part that just blows my mind. These people lie to us for a living, but you would think this would be one of the most important times for them to stand up and lie to the normies. They are so afraid of this little sliver of their party that they won't even lie to the normies about what they believe anymore, because they know what they have turned loose. They saw it in Minneapolis. They've seen it when Obama was in office. They know what happens if they lose this militant base, because it will turn on them. They empowered them hoping that it would give them authority, but they forgot that eventually the alligator is always going to eat you last. And you are starting to be less useful to this minority within your party. And now they're ready to start turning on them. And you saw it with Fetterman. Fetterman wore a suit and got crucified for wearing a suit because he shook Trump's hand. He wore a suit. We hate this guy. He's got to go. Are you kidding me?
Go ahead.
I was just saying, are you kidding me?
Yeah, no, I got you. So the applause from the Republicans and let's just say plus Fetterman, it lasted quite a bit. So we're going to skip ahead and go to the next part of this trap that Trump has laid. And then we'll get some comments in the chat.
Shame. You should be ashamed of yourself not standing up. You should be ashamed of yourself. That is why I'm also asking you to end deadly sanctuary cities that protect the criminals and enact serious penalties for public officials who block the removal of criminal aliens. In many cases, drug lords, murderers all over our country, they're blocking the removal of these people out of our country, and you should be ashamed of yourself.
So right then and there, the trap is sprung. And Trump got him big time in a very big moment. Gonna go through some comments here really quickly here. Let me see. Alex MM98 does not have nice things to say about Fetterman. Meanwhile, he was the darling of the Democratic Party when he was running against Dr. Oz.
And wait, Gene, yes, he did have a stroke, and there is definitely something wrong with his brain, but somehow he's the Democrat with the most common sense now. That says a lot about the modern Democratic Party, where a guy with questionable brain connectivity is the most rational person in your party right now.
Kind of scary, ain't it? When you think about it that way. I'm just saying. It really is.
Well, since we got Rashida Tlaib on the screen, we found a nice comment for her as well. I'm not going to read it out loud. You guys can read it for yourself. What'd you say, Rick?
Well, I do want to say this real quick, and I know you pointed this out earlier today, but I have to bring this up. They literally did the meme when they start pointing and screaming. It looks like one of the cat memes.
Oh, that's the cover for the video today. Hang on, let me Excuse me while I whip this out. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Well, I don't have the cover, but here it is right here.
Yeah,
The cat
basically the meme. They did the meme.
I absolutely, I immediately thought of that as well when we started doing
And
this.
Gene, what have I been saying that the modern Democratic Party has become for quite a while now? They are now the party of hysterical women and low testosterone men, right? And that was the perfect example of it throughout the speech, right? It's hysterical women. Some of them are actually biological men, by the way, and low testosterone men. And sometimes that intersects when you're talking about the Democratic Party.
You see, Galloway, you triggered William. You see what you did here? William's all triggered now. F Trump, F MAGA. We are coming for you. Is that a threat? Ooh, see you in November, moron.
Poor Billy.
Hey, Rick, you're officially one of the morons now.
Before I resemble it.
It was just
and by the way, people like William, right? And I challenge anyone in the chat. You can make your little stupid
he doesn't
comments.
Deserve to be called William. He's Billy. William is an adult name. He's Billy.
Yeah, Billy, you can make your, and this goes for all the losers in the chat. You can make your comments and your attacks at Trump or any of us on the show. We really don't care. But I do challenge you. Think a little bit and give me a specific policy that President Trump articulated at the State of the Union and tell me why you are against it, right? Just explain that, right? He pretty much went down the common sense line last night. I'm dying to hear it.
Well, I got to play this just because he invoked it.
Yeah? Is this moron number one? Put moron number two on the phone.
Yeah, Jimmy, he's right here. Hold on.
Yeah? Is this moron number one? Put moron number two on the phone.
Hang on a second, goddamn. I screwed that up royally, but it doesn't matter. You get the point.
It's live radio. Whatever.
Let everybody deal with it. I don't care. I don't care no more. Okay, Galloway was not nice to William in the chat. Oh, I might have to put you in timeout.
By the way, we do have a comment in there. The Greenland takeover that was not mentioned at the State of the Union. I'm talking about the State of the Union specifically. I'm not talking about when Trump is out and about making jokes and going over the top. I didn't hear anything in the State of the Union about us taking over Greenland.
No, I mean I'll be completely honest. He was actually really measured for Trump last night. I was surprised. I really was.
We're getting to the haters early. Jimmy Myers, thanks for leaving us a chat here. He's coming at you, Galloway, with your Trump 2028. You're just triggering people left and right tonight.
First of all, I love the Constitution, but you know what? The Constitution's not a suicide pact. I do support Trump 2028. I support Trump for fucking king. How about that? Go ahead, Gene. Next comment.
Well, let's get to some more videos. Let's get back to Trump saying everybody should be ashamed of themselves and talking about sanctuary cities. Oh my gosh, just them cheering. That's all it is. Now, again, he had these applause lines that were just long and sustained. And as part of the whole "you're ashamed of yourself," I think Ilhan Omar was shouting back at him and pointing that you killed Americans in my district, is what what she was saying to him. So it's one of these things, guys, that I really feel it's getting too easy. It's getting too easy to make Democrats fall into the trap because they're so zealously going after Trump that they ready, fire, aim. And we're seeing that in the chat as well, that it's too easy to trigger people just by a speech of all things. I don't get it.
They have everybody's living in their emotions now, so it's too easy. They have everybody like completely just hyped up on emotion, so they don't have any way to think logically anymore. As soon as they get you wrapped up in the amygdala rather than your frontal cortex, nothing makes sense anymore because you're always at level 11D, and that's where they keep them now on purpose.
Yeah, I'm just running through the chats, pal. Ross,
they're
a lot
off
of people
the rails.
like you.
They're off the rails in there, and it is too easy with these people And I'm talking
Excuse me,
about
sir.
not only the
That's
loser
Monday
in the
night.
chat.
Off the Rails is Monday nights at 10 Eastern, sir.
Oh,
Copyright.
you and your two plugs.
Shameless plug.
Boo.
But yeah,
Boo.
like our side, man, and I've actually said this about Trump for a while now. Like Trump does like to go out and he does like to give, rallies and speeches. He goes off the prompter a lot and he's entertaining. But when he stays on message, right? Our message is the better message. And by our message, I don't mean the Republican Party. I mean like common sense, individuals. And we're using the Republican Party as a vehicle right now. But if we got out there, like no one's against voter ID. I know it's going to come up later in the speech. No one is against deporting criminal illegal aliens, right? We have to get this out there into the mainstream. Affordability. They harp on things that Trump said about affordability, like, we beat affordability. Yeah, Trump said that off the cuff. But what they failed to acknowledge is that under Biden, inflation was at a 9% rate for a good chunk of his presidency. Now it's back in the low 2%, right? GDP numbers are in the positive, and they were actually a little lower last quarter because of the government shutdown. GDP considers government spending in the overall number. So why do you think the Democrats keep shutting down the government? Because they want to hurt those GDP numbers, right? So we're doing things great. The economy is good, and our positions make sense. The more we can get out there and tout it, the better we'll do. And it's just it's a no-brainer.
Wilma checking in with us. Hey, Wilma, how you doing? Hope you like the show. By the way, guys, if you like the show, you like what you're hearing, you don't like what you're hearing, let us know either way. Either hit that thumbs up button or don't. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Like us wherever you are. Wilma says Ilhan Omar hates the U.S. and is doing harm to the country. She should be back in Somalia to support her own country.
I agree.
Ilhan Omar was causing a ruckus in the crowd. And then today, as we are live streaming this on Wednesday, she appeared on CNN with Wolf Blitzer and had this to say.
One of the Democratic congresswomen that you saw right there, Ilhan Omar of Minnesota. Congresswoman, thanks so much for joining us. CNN reported before that speech that the House Democratic leader, Hakeem Jeffries, advised your caucus, the Democratic members, to either skip the State of the Union address or sit there in silence. Should you have just boycotted the address, and do you think you violated the guidelines set out by your own leader?
No, I think it was really unavoidable. The president talked about protecting Americans, and I just had to remind him that his administration was responsible for killing 2 of my constituents.
Now, I am not here to say that nobody should scream at the State of the Union. Democrats do it, Republicans do it, everyone does it. It's a relatively recent phenomenon, but everyone does it. But to read the room is an important thing. There's no way that anyone pointing at the dais is going to look good here, even if you like Ilhan Omar's politics. It's a stupid move. But apparently, Ross, it gets you on CNN.
What doesn't get you on CNN? What was she babbling about when she was screaming from the gallery anyway? Right? Trump did the right thing and just talked right over her stupid ass, so that mostly all you could see during the speech was her screaming hysterically over fraud in her home state by her own people. And yes, those are her people, the Somalis, right? She is not American. I don't care if she has a paper that says she is. She is quoted in her own speeches saying that she is a representative of the Somalis within the United States government. So fuck her.
Yeah, let's let the clip go on, and then, Rick, I got something for you after this.
In Minneapolis, many members of your Democratic Party criticized their Republican counterparts when they interrupted President Biden's State of the Union address, as a lot of us remember. Do you have any regrets at all about the interaction we played between you and President Trump just last night?
I do not. And I think many people look at that moment when the president says it is our responsibility to protect Americans. And he does not acknowledge the fact that 2 Americans, 2 of my constituents, 2 of our neighbors were killed. And it was important for me to just remind the American people that the president and his administration was responsible for killing 2 American citizens.
With hindsight, Congresswoman, do you think you would have been better off boycotting the speech like so many other Democratic lawmakers did, or did you do the right thing by actually showing up there?
Rick, am I sensing that this is turning into a Democrat struggle session? Like almost chiding Ilhan Omar on behalf of the establishment?
Yeah, he's trying to reel her back in, but it's not working. So
Yeah,
she lost the establishment. Because again, remember, they had their marching orders. Either go to one of the alternate places if you want to be crazy, or sit on your hands and don't react to anything. Those were their marching orders. That's part of the reason why they sat down, even when he kept baiting them into traps, because that's what they were told to do. But she and Rashida Tlaib lost their crap and made themselves look absolutely insane. And I just wish I was enough above Twitter's thermal layer where she could see me ask her this question. Tell me why those people died. Because yes, they were American citizens, but they were not exhibiting lawful behaviors at the time. Did they deserve to die for them? No. But you know who was really at fault for all of that? The mayor of Minneapolis and the governor of Minnesota. Because if they had been cooperating with ICE, as Trump had been asking them to for months, none of this would have happened. And you can see that on paper now. Because when Holman went in and started twisting arms to get them to comply, you saw a lot of the violence go away, and now they're leaving because they've accomplished what they wanted to do because they got cooperation.
Exactly. It ended up that Homeland Security got what they wanted in the end. And unfortunately, these tragedies, we haven't really heard about them in the news lately because they've moved on to the next issue, which is voter ID. And Ross was talking about this part of the speech. So let's take a look at it, and then let's talk about it.
Most importantly, I'm asking you to approve the Save America Act. To stop illegal aliens and others who are unpermitted persons from voting in our sacred American elections. That cheating is rampant in our elections. It's rampant. It's very simple. All voters must show voter ID.
Look at Jeffries, this Obama automaton over here. Ross, the nation wants voter ID. Why aren't they getting it?
I mean, I think that the man himself cannot be topped. Like he said it, right? Like, who is against voter ID? It's people who want to cheat. They can get it. John Thune, the Republican Senate Majority Leader, needs to put this on the floor right away and force Democrats to sustain a standing filibuster. I'm not going to go through that whole thing again. If you don't know what a filibuster really is, look it up for you dummies in the chat. Yeah, but they need to get this on the floor. Believe it or not, Mitch McConnell, the ghost of Mitch McConnell, a former quote-unquote Republican leader in the Senate, is one of the people holding up a lot of legislation on the committee that he's in, because somehow that old fool is still a committee chair. They need to boot Mitch McConnell the fuck out of the Senate. I don't even care that Kentucky has a Democratic governor and he would appoint a Democratic senator to replace Mitch McConnell. Mitch McConnell is further down the dementia ladder than Joe Biden was, right? We got to get rid of this guy.
I agree with that. He'll be out soon enough. I think he's done after the midterms. Let's get back into the clip.
All voters must show proof of citizenship in order to vote.
Oh, the applause. Wanted to highlight this comment. I need new glasses is what I need here. Oh my goodness. From Agus. Got to have an ID to buy tobacco, fake tobacco, like vapes, get government assistance, paint, alcohol, even a tattoo. Yet somehow it's wrong for voting. Yeah, it's common sense. Get on an airplane, open a bank account. You need ID. And
I
as
don't know,
Trump was-
Gene.
Go ahead.
You and Agus sound mighty racist and sexist, requesting people to show ID to do things.
I thought you were going to call me a socialist because none other than Zohran Mamdani was requiring 2 forms of ID and your Social Security proof in order to shovel snow out of the last blizzard we had up here in the People's Republic of New York City. So, yeah, ID's kind of important, guys. Let's continue on with the clip.
And no more crooked mail-in ballots except for illness, disability, military, or travel. None. And this should be an easy one. And by the way, it's polling at 89%, including Democrats. 89%. And even the new communist mayor of New York City, I think he's a nice guy, actually. Speak to him a lot. Bad policy, but nice guy. Just said they want people to shovel snow. They got hit hard. Wants them to shovel snow, but if you apply for that job, you need to show 2 original forms of ID and a Social Security card. Yet they don't want identification for the greatest privilege of them all, voting in America. No, it's no good. No good.
It's just me with Steve Scalise a little too happy in reacting. It seems like he's putting on airs a little bit, but whatever. We'll keep going.
Yeah, probably a little.
Both Republicans and Democrats overwhelmingly agree on the policy that we just enunciated. And Congress should unite and enact this common sense, country-saving legislation right now, and it should be before anything else happens.
Look at this.
She looks like the guy sitting next to her farted.
Or maybe she did. I don't know. But this is the reaction when over 80% of the American people want to pass this legislation.
I mean,
I
come
thought
on,
we're supposed to be
when-
looking for common ground here, Ross.
But you honestly can't have common ground. And I let me say this, and I've said this a few times in the past. I know this. Remember back in the day when you were in school, especially if you took any political science classes, they would say things like, the left and the right political spectrum, you got Democrats and Republicans. They both want what's best for the country. They just have different ways of getting there. But anyone with a brain today should understand that the left, those people we're looking at on the screen right now, they do not want what's best for the country, right? You can't make that argument anymore. One side does not want to enforce the laws of the country, keep criminals in jail. They want no cash bail. They don't want voter ID. They don't want to deport illegal aliens. They don't want to have a border. They don't want to kill drug runners that are bringing poison to our shores. And the list goes on and on and on. One side doesn't want any of those things, right? How can you make the argument that they also want what is best for our country? You can't.
You're absolutely right.
Well, you can't. Well, part of it is because they have adopted this mindset that every aspect from our founding to our current principles is corrupted and has been from our inception. So that's part of the reason why we can't find common ground with these people anymore, because we are coming from, yes, this is a flawed country, but every country is flawed, but it's still one of, if not the best, and I'm raising my hand because I do personally believe this, country on earth. They believe it is the worst. No matter what, doesn't matter. We can't get anything right. Everything is terrible. We're on stolen land. We've murdered people. We've done this. We've done that. Never mind the fact that for thousands of years before this country was founded, that was pretty much how everybody did everything, because, that doesn't matter anymore. But yeah, it's impossible.
Yeah. And Rick mentioned like finding common ground. Just as an example, real quick, the Democratic Party, the self-proclaimed party of science, believe that men can have babies, right?
How do you find common ground
with those people?
I don't think you can in a lot of ways. By the way, Lee, you don't need permission. You can just go. Don't worry about it, pal.
Gene, give her the pass. Give her the hall pass.
You remember the hall pass? It was like this giant piece of wood with like a key on it. You guarantee you had to bring it back? Oh, my God.
Should we really be talking about giant wood when Lee has to piss?
Hell yeah. Back to the action.
reason they don't want to do it. Why would anybody not want voter ID? One reason, because they want to cheat. There's only one reason. They make up all excuses. They say it's racist. They come up with things you almost say, what imagination they have. They want to cheat. They have cheated, and their policy is so bad that the only way they can get elected is to cheat. And we're going to stop it. We have to stop it, John.
All right. So there's that clip. Voter ID. Again, Trump setting the agenda, saying F you to all the people out there that don't want to push for this because they're clearly cheaters. And yet another example, Ross, of the brilliance of whoever put this speech together. Because the wording on it and everything, it sets such a stark contrast between the two sides that can be then used to set up stump speeches for the midterms going forward.
Yep, stump speeches and ads, right? Political ads. A lot of this stuff, and Trump, like you said, he goes off script every once in a while and throws in his little ad libs. When he acknowledges, like, look at these people, they're crazy. They're not even standing for that, right? And it's usually an issue where the vast majority, it's not even like a 42 with some undecideds. The vast majority of Americans agreed with just about everything that Trump articulated in that speech. Yeah. And succinctly. It was a long speech because there were lots of things in it, but no one topic dominated the show, right? He just went from issue to issue seamlessly.
But it's also the brilliance of the speech, and let me just throw this out there to you, Rick. The brilliance of the speech is that it was long. It was an endurance battle for a lot of people. So the next day, people are not going to be looking for an hour and 49-minute speech. They're going to be looking for clips like the ones we've been playing, and that is going to set the tone for the reaction of people who are consuming all this political media right now. Brilliant move by Trump's team.
Well, this is part of what drives the left crazy when it comes to Trump, because Trump is an absolute showman. He understands the attention span of the average American. He understands that, like you said, if they weren't watching it live, even if they were, he probably captured a lot of their attention for 10 or 15 minutes, unless they're policy wonks like us. So he knew they were going to be coming back the next day going, what did I miss? Then they're going to see all these hot clips of, oh my God, they didn't stand up for this. They didn't stand up for that. They didn't stand up for this. And then at one point, one of my favorite takeaways, and I can't believe somebody actually caught it. It was one of the few times that the crowd was chanting USA, USA. And I don't think it was when, because there was a couple different times that happened. I don't think it was when the gold medalist had just walked in, but somebody had caught Rashida Tlaib turning off to the side thinking she was going to be cute. And while everybody else is chanting USA, she was chanting KKK, KKK, and thought it was hilarious. I thought it was absolutely hilarious.
I may have to track it a little later.
Yeah, unfortunately, it was in one of my virtual studios, so I don't have it anymore.
You always do this. You always bring up a great clip idea, and then it's like, yeah, well, I can't get it and show it to you. Damn, man. But here's what I can show you. I do want to show you the clip where.
Well, Trump I assume since you're like a high caliber producer that you would have already had this thing.
Oh, so. I wish, but as you can see, I'm sick as a dog today, and you know this, and yet you
and Ross is no help.
Yeah. Absolutely. Well, listen, I want to get to this other portion because this is probably, in my opinion, the most egregious thing that Democrats didn't stand up for.
Irina was riding home on the train when a deranged monster who had been arrested over a dozen times and was released through no cash bail stood up and viciously slashed a knife through her neck and body.
We interrupt this clip for a troll comment from one of the people that I can actually flex on a little bit here. Nothing comment wants to know the average IQ of the people on screen. Well, we can start with me. I recently just tested mine. I'm a 131.
Well, Gene, you automatically think nothing comment is against this. He might have been talking about the Democrats that were on the screen.
I don't care. It's a nothing comment.
I'm willing to give them the benefit of their doubt.
Okay. Well,
I'm the good cop this time.
See, look. You showed some kindness, and they took it as weakness. All right. So,
yes.
So there you go. Good job smoking them out. My God, every time.
No one will ever forget there were people.
Oh, you see? Hang on. You see? Nothing comment. If you had to clarify 3 different times. Maybe it's your IQ we should be worried about, but whatever. Ain't no big deal.
On that train, no one will ever forget the expression of terror on Irina's face as she looked up at her attacker in the last seconds of her life. She died instantly. She had escaped a brutal war only to be slain by a hardened criminal, set free to kill in America, came in through open borders. Mrs. Zaretsky, tonight I promise you we will ensure justice for your magnificent daughter, Irina. How do you not stand? How do you not stand?
That was an unintentional trap, because how could anyone anticipate Democrats or just anyone not acknowledging the passing of this young woman to her family who are there watching this? Disgusting.
And the ultimate irony is that half of those loser Democrats are wearing Ukrainian flag pins, and they don't stand up for a Ukrainian refugee who was murdered by an animal on a subway.
I don't know how anyone could be so heartless, Rick, to that woman, this mother that lost her child to crime that should have been preventable.
I mean, they don't care. The only crimes they care about are the ones that they can spin. They couldn't spin this one, so they don't care. And if you listen to them, the reason they didn't stand and the reason they didn't react is because Donald Trump was spinning the guy who committed the crime as an illegal alien. Apparently, according to records, he was born in North Carolina in the 1990s. But I meant to research this earlier today, and I did not. But I'm willing to bet if you go back and look, his parents were probably illegal. So to Trump, that means he's illegal because he doesn't favor anchor babies. So that's probably where he was coming from with that. I can't confirm that, but that's that. If you listen to the talking heads and if you listen to the couple of folks that have gone on the news circuit today, the reason they didn't stand for that was because he wasn't an illegal alien. So we didn't feel the need to stand for that because he was openly lying.
Oh, whatever. Jazzy Croc saying this is all political theater. You're absolutely right, Jazzy. 100% right. But to the average American, this sort of theater will drive votes. It will drive people to the polls to vote one way or the other. Democrats are hoping this theater is going to encourage their side to show up, and Trump and the Republicans are doing theater themselves to make sure that their people know what to go out and vote for as well. So, yeah, political theater has its place, especially when it comes to the State of the Union, because, Ross, it sets the tone for the rest of the year.
Yeah, well, first of all, it's not just the State of the Union that is political theater. All of politics is a show. The great Rush Limbaugh used to always say that politics is show business for ugly people, right? So the whole thing is a show. Unfortunately, a lot of these morons run our lives.
Absolutely. Rick, you sent me that thing in the private chat, right? You want me to put that up?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the Talib clip you were teasing me that I.
Yes. Give me 1 second.
See, Rick comes through in the clutch. I knew he would.
Yeah, he does. Let me just embiggen this. I have to do different things here to get things going. Can I make it wider?
That's what she said.
There we go. And now I need to. Well, I'll do it in a second here. Let me get this in. Push this button here. Click that thing there. Get this on the screen. Share it. And there it is. This is from the NRCC. Republicans, USA, Rashida Tlaib, KKK. Everything you need to know about today's Democrats. Now let's make this bigger and hear it. And see it as well. One more time. Here it is. That looks like KKK to me.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's
What a
pretty blatant.
catch. Good catch,
Yeah.
Rick.
That's pretty blatant. Actually, that was I caught that from doing the Twitchy live blog last night. Somebody put that out, and I was like, "Holy crap!" So then we talked about it for like 10 minutes on our stream. I was like, "That just, dude." Now, granted, you could see it in the clip that I found. Actually, was a little bit longer. You can see her start cutting a full on grin. So she was being a smartass, but still, can you imagine if they had caught a Republican on camera doing that?
Oh, there'd be a ruckus. There'd be a complete and utter ruckus going on.
They need to be censored. They need to be removed. This needs to happen yesterday. But yeah.
And to Hakeem Jeffries' credit, by the way, the reason why he was telling his caucus to just sit there on their hands and not say anything is because last year the Democrats made absolute fools of themselves. They all dressed in white. They put up these dumb signs. Al Green got ejected by the sergeant at arms, right? And he was trying to, for political purposes, avoid the Democrats looking like the anti-American scumbags that they are again this year. And people like Tlaib and Omar, they can't help themselves. Al Green again got ejected, right? They're just losers, anti-American losers.
And Dawn reminds us, did you see the pin that she was wearing on her lapel that said, fuck ICE?
Yep. Yeah.
So, okay, Rashida, we gave you the attention you so desperately craved, and we'll move on to more of the resistance because there was some funny shit going on out there, guys. Outside the State of the Union, what Democrats are doing. This is the party. I'm gonna set this clip up by saying this is the party that thinks that they should be in charge of your government.
I'm a physician and I have a flag. And I am the proud representative for Oregon's 3rd Congressional District. Yes, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
And tonight, I defy Trump and his authoritarian project by standing in joyful, radical, peaceful resistance with the Portland Frog Brigade.
Yay!
I have to zoom back a little bit.
Yeah, please get the frogs on. Yeah.
Let's leave that up for a minute. I didn't know this existed, and I'm kind of tickled pink that I know now. The Oregon Frog Brigade, is that what she called it?
Yep, the Oregon Frog Brigade.
Oh boy.
Is this what we're going up against, Gene? Is this the party that everyone thinks is so smart and cunning and politically astute? Like, is this what we're afraid of? Please, someone in the chat tell me that you are proud of this Democratic Party. That woman, that ugly as sin woman, and people dressed in frog costumes.
Well, here you go. Here's your defense coming.
Yes, okay, peaceful great.
Peaceful protesters.
And Aga says, no, they're not. So there's a fight going on in the chat right now for that.
Even more importantly, what do they stand for? What I challenged the chat earlier, and I still yet to see one, a response. Name a policy that the modern Democratic Party stands for, right? Like, they're going to win the midterms and do what? Fill in that blank, right? I'm looking at a stage of a failed congresswoman from a left coast state standing up there with a bunch of people dressed as frogs. Like, fill in the blanks for me. Tell me what I'm missing here.
Yeah, what is the powerful, moving policy statement that comes from this, right? Jeez, a Lou.
Well, right before this, there was a dude dancing around in a giraffe suit, so there's that. Yeah.
Wait. Portland was obviously exposed to metric tons of cesium-123. I can't laugh, people. You gotta make me cough. And uranium-235. There's Fukushima, which, oh God. Oh my God. Okay.
Listen, Agus is on fire. This guy is brilliant. I'm just gonna say that.
Egg, good on comment of the show right there.
Are you on X? Because if you're on X, I want to follow you.
Yeah, seriously, drop your @ for X if you're on there so we can all follow you. That is awesome. Oh my goodness. Yep.
I think Gene's gonna die tonight.
It all makes sense when you look at that. It certainly does. Hey, Ross, can I bring back an OG Buffoon that we haven't talked about in a while because she hasn't been relevant in the past years?
Please
now you
do,
peaked
sir.
Do you remember Debbie Wasserman Schultz?
Oh,
good
yes,
God.
ramen, the original ramen noodle head.
Well, apparently she was not happy with the State of the Union.
Hey everyone, Debbie Wasserman Schultz here. I just came off the House floor after the President's State of the Union address, which I thought was revolting. Basically, this was an awards show with lies during the commercial breaks.
An award show. Imagine thinking that giving a Medal of Honor to one of our greatest people in this country
So
is a sideshow.
I don't mean to step on you, but I have to say this. Look at the nose. She didn't just come off the floor. She came out of the cloakroom bathroom doing rails. She wasn't on the floor. She was snorting. Look at that nose. That nose is bright fucking red. She was snorting coke. I'm telling you.
God. The frog thing is still going. What did Alex Jones say? That they're turning the frogs gay? Well, I guess there's your proof. Oh, God.
Gee, you got to put that one other comment a little above that from Agus. It's another banger, the Party of Science comment.
Oh, here it. Okay. There you go. The Party of the Science, except physics, biology, physiology, neurology, all the ologies.
And by the way, how can you even talk about Wasserman Schultz's nose? How do you get past the hair, right? Look, I know a lot of Republicans have bad hair too, but this woman, you can't take her seriously. That looks like a pack of ramen noodles exploded on her fucking head.
I'm not one to talk about looks because, I got this going on, so I'm okay. Well, let's continue on with the substance, Galloway. Focus now. Let's go.
I thought the President acted like a carnival barker, and he wants the American people to not believe what's going on in their own household budget, not believe their own bottom line. And the fact that he mocked the idea that life is unaffordable in this country was so incredibly disrespectful. And it's just something that I'm not going to stand for. I will stand alongside my Democratic colleagues every single day. I will stand alongside Steve Reyes, who is my guest tonight for the State of the Union, who's a small business owner whose own healthcare costs after the enhanced premium tax credits expired caused his health.
Well, who set up that scheme that you
They
needed
did.
to have perpetual tax credits?
They did.
I don't believe that was Republicans. I think that was Democrats, right?
It was passed along party lines. They set the expiration dates. They knew the Affordable Care Act was in fact unaffordable, and they bought themselves some time thinking they would be able to kick this can further down the road. And Republicans called their bluff, and now they're pissed. But
And not only was it passed along party lines, it was passed through reconciliation, right? So they didn't need to fight a filibuster and a 60-vote threshold. They had the parliamentarian decide that reconciliation was something that can work for that. And Rick is 100% right. They passed it. They set the expiration date. They did the subsidies, all without Republican votes. And now they expect the Republican Party to bail them out. I don't think so.
nope, not going to happen.
Well, Wasserman Schultz apparently was making the rounds that night at the State of the Union and went on News Nation with Leland Vittert, and he called her on the carpet.
Tackling the president, and now you handing out the congressional or awarding the Congressional Medal of Honor to undoubtedly a heroic helicopter pilot and then a fighter pilot, an award show. I'm wondering if the president could have said anything that you'd be okay with.
There are numerous times that I stood up during his speech, and I stood up for each of the individuals whose valor was worthy of the praise that he meted out. But I can tell you, I brought a guest tonight from my district. I brought a guest tonight because I brought a guest tonight from my district.
And she tries to pivot from there. I'm not going to show you the pivot. But, yeah, Scott's got it. Dems are clowns, man. That's all they are right now.
So I have to jump in a second. So I do want to take a lead and back up to her whole affordability argument. I'm going to say this again. The reason that those of us that live in red states started screaming and yelling under Biden was when we started paying $6 a dozen for eggs, because for us, that isn't normal. Our egg averages are normally anywhere between 89 cents to $1.69 a dozen, depending on whether we want the good ones or not. So for all of these Democrats that are screaming about how bad affordability is, for those of you who believe them, if you live in a blue city, blue county, or blue state, you need to start looking at the policies there that are still negatively impacting your pricing. Because for those of us that live in free states, our prices are getting better. And that's because our government isn't trying to strangle us to make Donald Trump look bad.
Yeah.
So,
Ross, you got anything to add, or I'm going to move on to another clip?
Yeah,
here?
just real quickly, if you live in a blue city, there aren't like chicken farms all over your city, right? Those eggs come there on trucks. And what do trucks need? Oil and gas. And it has to be cheap. Otherwise, everything costs more, you dummies.
Speaking of dummies, Chris Murphy was at a different rally. So we saw the Defiance.org rally with the frogs. He was at the People's State of the Union hosted by our favorite buffoon, Joy Reid.
Oh, God.
And let's just say that security was a little lax at this event.
The moment. This is the reason that she came here to the United States, to speak truth to power, to explain the trials and tribulations that every immigrant, that every refugee goes through to get here, and to press this country to...
Border! I stuck in the border. Go Trump! Go Trump! Hey,
Thanks, man. Thanks, buddy.
You're a scumbag.
This
I love you're a scumbag. Dude, you're a scumbag. Now listen, I don't believe in heckling, but I will watch someone troll and do this all the time. That's why I'm not mad at our trolls in our chat. Trolls in our chat can hang out as much as you want. We can give as good as you get. And frankly, a lot of you have not been giving well. You need to work on it. But yeah, what kind of stupidity was this? Also, Sarah Gonzalez was openly trolling. Those who don't know, Sarah Gonzalez, I believe, is from The Blaze. She was openly trolling Joy Reid at this event as well. Just the stupid. It burns sometimes, Galloway.
It burns. It burns.
It burns. That was brilliant. I love those awkward moments like that. I also am not a fan of interrupting people's speeches, but like I've said many times, the left is basically, not basically, in actuality, shooting people on our side. So fuck them. I say we bust into every one of their events and raid the stage. Well done.
So I guess as my final thought, I'm going to be the odd man out here because I absolutely love being that guy, because the balcony Muppets were my heroes when I was a kid. So yeah, that's kind of my jam. So anyway, but I do have to go because I have Rick and Orny coming up next. So.
Absolutely. But by the way, guys, those of you who don't know, Rick has his own radio network, KLRN Radio, at KLRN Radio, I believe, is where you can find it on X, and also at Rowdy Rick 73 on X, where he will be streaming continually all the great programming of KLRN. It's awesome. Check it out. Rick, thanks so much for coming on. And now I'm going to boot you.
Bye.
Bye. All right. So there was some performances at that People's State of the Union and at the State of the Union as well. I'm sure you've all seen the photo of Representative Al Green holding up a sign saying black people aren't apes. And I think, yeah, it's true. We know that. We agree with that. And Steve Scalise had to basically get rid of it at the State of the Union. Joy Reid, who was running this People's State of the Union, had the most cringe reaction. And yes, this is a almost 50-year-old man saying cringe. But it merits it when you see it.
If you can hear me, I'm so in. Come on. Hear it. Keep it going. Whatever you. Whoo. It's all right with me.
Good Lord.
That was painful to watch again.
It's like I was compelled to go to karaoke and listen. That's what she turned it into.
As much as I despise her, there was a part of me, the human side of me, that felt bad watching that.
I don't feel bad at all. let's just say this. Joy Reid deserves all the mockery. Do you know who Ben Bergstrom is? Is on I forget what network he's on, but he's the guy that was embedded with ICE and has trolled Joy Reid about appropriating Trump's haircut.
Oh, yes, I do. Now I remember this.
Well,
moment.
there was a reunion of sorts after this rally. And let's see if I can find it on the screen here. Yep, here it is right here.
Democrats
why
have
do you think
abandoned
you're out
the
here?
black community
I don't know.
for illegal
I don't
aliens.
know. Why do white people
Joy,
think that black
I noticed you got rid of your Trump haircut,
Bye.
but you're still
Bye.
cultural
Bye.
appropriating the blonde.
Bye.
You're still
Bye.
cultural
Go
appropriating
fuck
the blonde.
yourself.
Don't touch me. Don't
Joy,
touch me.
right here, Joy.
Is that how you talk to your mother?
By the way, for those who didn't quite hear that, Joy Reid was saying "your mother" repeatedly to Ben here in this clip. Oh, where has the civility gone? Oh my goodness. I'm clutching my pearls. Joy Reid doesn't like getting trolled. Oh no.
First of all, how bad do you have to be to get fired from MSNBC? Where that's really all you need to know. Joe Scarborough still has a job there, and he's god awful. So
can I pause it for a second? Pause you for a second. Steve has an issue. Hey, Steve, we don't run YouTube. This is on your feed, probably because you've watched some stuff that's related to what we're talking about. You have
or you go on, stay off Grindr, and maybe we'll stay out of your feed.
Oh boy, let's keep going. You can't make me laugh, man. My throat's hurting too much.
Hey, Trump loves you. Trump loves you, Joy.
Fuck you.
Trump loves you, Joy.
Fuck
There's a
you
cure. It's
too.
called.
Dude couldn't decide between a peace sign and a middle finger. Did you see that?
Brutal.
Oh my goodness. Agus trolling Steve. Welcome to the dark side. We have cookies. I love it. I freaking love it.
Oh no! Look what I started in there. People are asking about Grindr, Gene. This is your department.
No, it is not. You brought it up. You can deal with it. I do kind of want to end on at least with the clips, on a high note. We talked about John Fetterman being the last reasonable Democrat out there. He did an interview on Fox News, and I think it's worth listening to when it comes to the Democrats' reactions to Trump's State of the Union.
My party would stand up and clap for. I clapped with a lot of those things that it seemed like others. Like I stood up and I clapped to recognize the family that lost their daughter, the Ukrainian girl that was stabbed to death, in North Carolina. And I stood up and I clapped that political prisoner from Venezuela, how you can't celebrate those kinds of things. And now I also celebrated all the veterans that were in the audience as well too, and even more the political things like Erica Kirk. I stood up and I clapped for her as well too. Now here, can't we just be more kind to a widow? I mean, we just shouldn't be that long ago that a widow, with young children has her husband murdered. How we can't just acknowledge that as well too. Wow. Whether white people would attack her, whether the left or the right either. So. I'm always going to stand up and clap for things that I agreed with like striking the Iranian, sites now for me. I never worry about who's standing up or clapping. If I see it, I'm going to. If I don't agree with it or whatever, I'm certainly not going to yell and scream and disrupt the whole thing.
And that's what normal used to be. Right, Ross?
Yes. Because, and I keep warning my fellow Republicans on this, like, don't be fooled by what John Fetterman says, right? We'd still be much better off if there were a real Republican in that seat in Pennsylvania. And that is what he's worried about, obviously. That's the only reason why he's doing a lot of this stuff. But he's showing some decency and some civility. But if you look at his voting record, he still votes 99% of the time with the Democrats, right? But there's no reason to be a jerk off about it. And I think that's what Fetterman, somehow that hard reset that hit his brain is allowing him to do right now.
Yeah, the blue screening to the reboot, I guess, is what happened there. I don't know. So overall, and my voice is getting ready to go, so maybe we'll start summing things up here a little bit, even though we got a lot of people hanging out with us, and I appreciate everybody in the chat. Whether you like us, whether you hate us, it's all good. We're glad that you're here. Hope you guys are hitting that like button. Hope you guys are subscribing to the channel, hitting that notification bell. Apparently, YouTube has been very shady when it comes to taking care of the notifications lately. But whatever, we're glad you found us. And yeah, I think it's time to start rounding it up a little bit here. But overall, your thoughts on the State of the Union. Did I miss any clips that I should have gotten?
No, I mean that you, as always, Mr. Berardelli, fantastic job. And like we opened the show with, this was an amazing State of the Union. Trump and his team cherry picked the issues of the day, and they were all issues that the majority of Americans, regardless of party, agree with the president on. The speech was well written. Trump stuck to the script with very few, he didn't weave during the speech. And he had command. Maybe it was a mistake for Jeffries to not have 70 of his conference members there, because Trump dominated not only the speech, but the audience as well, right? He was in full command. And I've never been, I'm not going to say I've never been more proud to be an American, but I was very proud of the way Trump handled it and the message that our party put forth last night in that speech.
All righty then. I didn't watch the speech last night. Like I said, you hear my voice, and I'm kind of struggling here to get through the show. But everything I saw online seems to be militating towards a positive reaction for Trump. And in a week from now, we'll see in the polls whether there's a Trump bump for Republicans going forward. But there are still so many pieces in motion going forward for 2028 between candidates jockeying for position, primaries going on in different places, lawsuits to be determined, especially at the Supreme Court level, that maybe in about 2 weeks or so we'll see a clearer picture coming into focus for the midterms. I know that polling initially after this saw Republicans gaining in the so-called generic congressional ballot, that they're only down 2 now in the last poll I saw. But there's nothing generic about congressional races. They're all races that deal with a lot of local issues on the ground as well. So we'll end up seeing what happens with those races. We're going to have to go race by race to see as we go through the year. But I think this is a good place to shut it down, man. You good with this?
Yep. I just have one parting shot, if you don't mind.
Oh, wait, hold on. Do you want to troll hunt a little? Is that what you want to do?
I mean, we could do that too. It seems like the chat is actually coming together. We've gotten them.
Yeah, we got some solid chatters tonight. Agus and a bunch of other people in there.
They're falling in line.
Well,
I see that the chat is pretty much all Trump supporters now. Very good job, guys.
No, you guys are. Well, listen. When the silent majority in the chat actually starts speaking up, then you got something going here. Let's get we got a couple of questions coming through the chat that are unrelated to the topic. This is a good one for you, pal, because you have the military background and experience. Let me I got to big in my screen again here because I need to be able to see, and I can't see because I'm blind right now. Do you think the U.S. would be bombing Iran if Trump didn't end Obama's peace deal? I kind of think so. We betrayed the Iranians.
If we didn't end that deal, I'll say you might have a point that we might not be bombing them. You know why? Because they'd have a nuclear fucking weapon, right? It's very hard to have your way with battleship diplomacy when the other side has a nuke. And when that other side, when their stated policy is death to America, they cannot have a nuclear weapon, right? Yes. Obama's deal, by the way, before you jump on, Gene, Obama's deal guaranteed them the right to pursue nuclear weapons after a certain amount of time. And that time has elapsed, right? So Donald Trump it was only common sense that you had to get rid of that dumb deal, or Iran would have a nuclear weapon right now as we speak.
Yeah, Scott has a good comment. I have that one on the screen now, but this one's even better from him. Iran shouts death to America while Obama paid them with your tax money. Wake the hell up.
And it's
Scott,
not
thanks for hanging out with us, man.
Gene, it's not like the people in the streets shouting it. It is their stated government policy. It's their government leaders saying that.
Oh, we got the trolls coming in now. Hang on. Here we go. This is my favorite part of the show. Well, that's not you, Scott. You're not a troll. What am I doing here? MAGA in denial, and I'm here for it.
What are we in denial about? What are we in denial about, Gene?
I don't know. I'm trying to figure that out myself, but I want to get my troll stomping music on. Give me a second here. I have to find it again. I believe it's called, well, whatever. I'll keep looking for it. Here it is over here, I think. Let's see. Yep. All right, trolls. It's your time of the show. All right, this isn't a troll. Scott's saying,
thank you, Scott.
I'm subscribing. I love you guys. Salute, brother. Thank you. Scott, you the man. Appreciate you stopping by. We'll be here every Wednesday, 9 p.m. We pick a topic, then we talk about trolls and shit like that. We have fun with it. But this is their moment. Yes, in denial about what?
What is MAGA in denial about? What? Someone tell me.
They're not going to be able to tell us.
We're talking about comments in the chat for you guys watching after the show. Some moron in the chat is saying MAGA's in denial, and they love it. In denial about what, dude? Getting tired of winning? I'm not tired of winning yet.
Yeah, here's a good one going back the other way. I know you were talking to RBA before. For any of the leftists, Trump is still your daddy for the next 3 years. Love it.
3 if you're lucky. Only 3 if you're lucky.
Oh, boy. Well, it looks like nobody wants to come out to play, so we're going to bring it down there. It's time to shut this sucker down, pal. What do you think? You ready?
Yeah, let me just say this, Gene. This is the one thing I wanted to end up on my side with. For everyone listening, man, especially if you love winning and you love Donald Trump and you love seeing a real leader that can articulate the positions that are common sense, right? Because you're not going to get that from the Republican Party. Enjoy these next 3 years. I can't stress this hard enough. Enjoy the next 3 years. I took for granted Trump's first term, and I didn't enjoy them as much as I should have. This is a once-in-a-lifetime president. I saw very early in the show, there was a comment in there, best president in the modern era or best president ever. Donald Trump is up there, man. You will never get a cage fighter like him fighting for the common sense American principles like you did with this man. So just enjoy this ride, and God, please protect the president of the United States.
All right, on YouTube, can we see some hearts in the chat for that? That was an awesome ending rant. If you like that, hit some hearts in the chat. Hit the like button if you haven't already, because we're about to head out of here. Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in with us. You could have been anywhere tonight. You chose to be here with us. We truly appreciate you. But until next week, Wednesday, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, Gene and Ross, Behind Enemy Lines, we are out of here. Now hang out for our motherfucking anthem. Good night, folks.
We're not allowed, not without electoral.
Go fuck yourself. Is that clear?
Teeth don't let them have sway. Conservative battalions walking them out, marching through the streets while the buffoons all shout. Move in the shadows, flag on my chest, repping my clan, putting faith to the test. Cause love pays blues behind enemy lines, fighting for the truth, feels like wartime. Won't back down, keep it rocking and roll. Cool in the chaos, but loud in the war. But loud in the war. Our chance. If I ever stare with a smirk in a gaze, holding down the fort in this Democrat case.